going to go ahead and bring in Joe Habib. What's going on, Joe? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Chris? How's everything, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. And you and I, we share a favorite fighter. We're close in age, and Sugar Ray Leonard obviously is, I believe, if I remember correctly, is your favorite fighter as well. Am I right in that?
That's correct. Yes.
And I know that we've had those talks before and all that. And this Muhammad Ali passing, it just really made me realize how much. And like I said, I'm not trying to bring any bad karma to our guy. I'm just saying something. And that something is, man, is it going to hit me when he passes? Because this one hit me. And, Larry Holmes was already like a heavyweight champ kind of running the division when I started really knowing what the hell's going on. And Sugar Ray Leonard was the guy at that time as far as the star guy. Ali obviously had his time had passed, but it just really made me realize how much that's going to hurt. And he still looks like he's about 50 or 48 anyway, so he's got plenty of years. Like I said, I'm not trying to bring any bad vibes to our guy, but just in a short little summary. I don't want to keep you on all night. I know I appreciate you calling in, man, but it's just, man, did he mean a lot to this sport, in and outside the sport, man. Just say a couple of words here on Muhammad Ali, because we had, the last couple of years he's been in and out of the hospital, throughout the year, but he's always kind of fought through it, and maybe it was pneumonia or bad flu, or, we'd always hear like it was bad, but then he'd be fine and out there, and we always knew that he still would do his little morning workouts and all that. And now you see some photos from the last couple of months, you could definitely tell the weight loss was there majorly. Just give me a couple of words, man, on what Muhammad Ali meant to this sport, meant to you. And like I said, in and outside of the ring, it doesn't get much bigger.
Well, I watched my mom die of Alzheimer's, and it's not Parkinson's, but it's definitely a similar type of process when you watch someone like that and how the life just gets sucked out of them day by day. It's a slow death, basically. And I saw Muhammad Ali, and he was very drawn and sunken in, and he looked like he just didn't look good, and I just saw that, and I was saying to myself each and every time he would go into the hospital, is this going to be the time? And even though you know something is going to happen, when it does happen, it still hits you. And when someone passes that isn't a close family member or a close friend of yours, and you feel as though they are, you have that same type of feeling inside you, then you know that person is very, very special. I mean, I cried when I got the news, and I just saw all of the footage of him talking in the past, and footage of his fights. It just really, really hit me. And you mentioned another one, great fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard, and when he lost to Hector Camacho, I cried too, because it's like that was someone that I really held in high regard. It really hurt me. And I'm sure you've heard me say this before, that you should never fall in love with a fighter. But to be honest with you, those are two fighters I fell in love with as human beings, because Muhammad Ali's style, it was not even my favorite style of fighting. I like the guys who are technical. I like the guys who are textbook boxers, slick counter punches. I don't like those guys who don't do things by the book. That's not my style. But what I really liked about Muhammad Ali was the man. The man definitely was more than the boxer. You know what I mean? Like, he'll always be known as the boxer, but what he did outside the ring, it can't be said enough. The things he did, and how that just made him so well liked around the whole world. That he's probably one of the most famous people in the whole world. Imagine that. So, you just can't say enough about the man, and I told the story, and I'm going to repeat the story. I'm sure some people have heard it. Back in 1995, I actually saw Muhammad Ali on Newbury Street in Boston. I was probably about 100 yards away from him, and I saw him get into a limo. And one of the most amazing things to me was just seeing everything around him just stop for like seconds to a minute. Everyone just stopped and just watched Muhammad Ali. And that's how you know someone is special, when the whole world around that person just stops when they're doing something. And, I just got shivers up my spine, like, seeing that. Like, it was just amazing. So Muhammad Ali will definitely be missed. I mean, so many people have imitated him, but he's never going to ever be duplicated. And that's just a fact. Everyone that tries to act like him, it just comes off as a cheap imitation. And, people will say, hey, this guy's trying to do his imitation of Muhammad Ali, but that's just what it is, an imitation, because he was the real deal, and there's never going to be another man like him. I'm not even going to say fighter. There's never going to be another man like him, who's someone who sacrificed what he sacrificed and was just willing to give up everything for what he believed in. And people can say what they want about that, but that is very special and important to me. Because it's not easy to just do what he did, because there's so many times in life, we go through our everyday life, so many things we want to do and we want to say, but we just say, hey, we can't do that. I can't deal with the repercussions of doing it. This man was prepared to deal with the repercussions of that, where not many, probably nobody in his situation would have done what he did. And I don't remember a fighter ever doing that, and that's just a fact. So, my heart is still heavy. It's probably going to be heavy for a while, because you keep seeing posts on Facebook of old footage about Muhammad Ali, especially him, how great he was with the children. I mean, he just loved everybody, man. He just loved everybody, and he was just such an inspiration, and just always could make people laugh and make people happy and put a smile on everyone's face. So, what else more can I say? I mean, he will definitely be missed. Absolutely, no question.